Let's be real. Trying to land a great job in today's market can feel, well, overwhelming. If you've ever felt like your application just disappears into a black hole, you're not alone. But what if I told you there's a way to completely change that?
First, let's just look at the numbers, because they tell a big story. For any single corporate job you apply for, you're likely competing with 300 to 500 other people. And if it's a big, famous company, that number can easily jump into the thousands. It's not a pile, it's a mountain.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When your CV is just one in a giant sea of others, how do you make a recruiter stop and actually look at yours?
To figure this out, we have to do something really important. We need to stop thinking like a job applicant and start thinking like the person on the other side of the desk, the recruiter.
Okay, here's a hard truth. A recruiter is not spending minutes carefully reading your life story. They're spending seconds. I mean, literally 6 or 7 seconds on that first scan. They're looking for an immediate, obvious match. They simply don't have time to connect the dots and guess if you might be a good fit.
And this is where most people go wrong. They use the generic CV. You know the one. You send it out to dozens of companies and just hope for the best. It's vague, it's unfocused, and honestly, it usually gets ignored. The opposite is the adapted CV. It's tailored, it's specific, and it directly answers the question the job ad is asking. That's the one that gets interviews.
And that really is the secret. A job description isn't just a wish list. It's a set of questions, and the candidates who get called for an interview are the ones whose CVs provide the clearest, most direct answers to those questions.
So let's talk about the solution. It's all about a strategy called adaptation. This is how you turn your CV from a generic flyer into a high-precision tool that's built for one thing and one thing only, to land that specific interview.
So what is CV adaptation? It's the process of strategically rewriting your resume for each job you apply for. And I mean rewriting it. This isn't just changing the title. It's about looking at the job's requirements and then shaping your experience to be the perfect reflection of what they need.
When you do this right, your CV does a few powerful things. It starts speaking the exact language the recruiter is looking for. It puts your most relevant skills right at the top where they can't be missed. It cuts out all the other stuff that's just noise. And basically, it screams, hey, I'm the person you're looking for.
Now here's a really important distinction. This isn't about paying someone to write a CV for you. That's a temporary fix. This is a coaching process. The whole point is for you to learn this skill, to master this logic, so you can do it yourself, forever.
And the way we do it is totally hands-on. We'll take a real job you actually want to apply for. First, we'll break it down and analyze it together. Then, we co-write your CV, reframing your experience to be the perfect fit. By doing this, you start to master the logic yourself, and then we just polish it until it's perfect.
Because that's the real prize here. It's not about having one perfect resume. It's about you learning to think like a recruiter. Once you understand their logic, you have a massive advantage for every single job application you'll ever make in the future.
Seriously, this changes everything. You stop being just another applicant hoping to get lucky, and you become a top candidate who clearly belongs in the yes pile. It really is like having a career superpower.
Now, I'll be honest, the very first time you do this, it takes a bit of time and effort to learn the system. But once you get it, you'll be able to create a perfectly tailored, super effective CV in under 40 minutes. It becomes second nature.
And think about the long-term payoff here. You get a repeatable process that actually works. Your confidence goes through the roof. You start getting way more calls for interviews. And for the first time, you feel like you're truly in control of your career story.
So in the end, that amazing CV we create together is great, but it's not the main goal. The most valuable thing you walk away with is the skill, a skill you'll have for the rest of your life. So if you are tired of just applying and you're ready to start actually getting interviews, I invite you to learn more. You can find everything at swisscareer.coach. It's time to take control. Thanks for your time.